General Hospital today. Courtroom turns chaotic as Kai accuses Drew post-surgery. In the sterile coldness of General Hospital's operating theater, a critical neurosurgical procedure is underway. Kai Jensen, the brilliant but emotionally fragile patient, lies under sedation, clinging to hope after months of trauma following a mysterious head injury tied to a crash on Route 27. The surgeon, Dr. Drew Kane, a decorated Navy SEAL turned respected physician, whose reputation is bulletproof until now. Drew, facing mounting pressure from the board and Monica Quartermain, hesitates for a fraction of a second during the surgery, a decision that later becomes pivotal. The surgery is declared a clinical success, but Kai emerges from anesthesia changed. He's lucid but cold, bitter, and above all, vengeful. Post-op, Kai becomes increasingly erratic. His speech sharpens, and memories that were once cloudy now surge like floodwaters, especially of the crash and who was responsible. He begins to question not only the surgery's impact, but the very intent behind it. Drew's cold bedside manner doesn't help matters. Willow, Kai's half-sister, tries to calm him, but his paranoia grows. He knew exactly what he was doing, Kai mutters. This wasn't a slip, it was sabotage. Rumors begin circulating. T.J. Ashford, who observed part of the surgery, notes inconsistencies. There was hesitation in Drew's hand, like he was second-guessing, he tells Elizabeth Weber. She urges him to stay silent, at least for now. 2 weeks later, the courtroom is packed. Drew is on trial, not criminally, but for medical malpractice in a high-stakes civil suit brought forward by Kai. Everyone in Port Charles is present. Michael Corinthos, Drew's business partner and former brother-in-law, Carly, whose faith in Drew begins to waver, and Sam, watching from the shadows with torn loyalty. The judge calls Kai to testify. In a hauntingly calm tone, Kai says, "I went under trusting him with my life. And I woke up knowing I was betrayed. Drew Kane did this to me, not by mistake. He wanted to silence me. Because I remembered. I remembered everything." Gasps fill the courtroom. Drew's eyes narrow. "What are you saying, Kai?" Kai leans forward, voice shaking with rage. "I remembered that you were behind the crash. You set me off that road. And now you tried to erase the only witness." The courtroom explodes into chaos. Reporters scramble. Diane Miller, Drew's lawyer, demands the accusation be stricken. The judge refuses, calling for an emergency in-chambers review. Flashbacks reveal a twisted truth. Weeks before the crash, Kai confronted Drew over a Quartermain corporate cover-up involving Aurora Media funds and falsified test results linked to an experimental brain treatment Drew once championed. Kai had threatened to go public. The crash, once deemed an accident, begins to look like something far darker. In a private confrontation after court, Drew confronts Kai. "You don't know what you're talking about." Kai responds coldly. "You better pray the jury doesn't believe I do." Meanwhile, Sam McCall finds herself pulled into the middle. A secret file Drew buried years ago resurfaces, hidden on an encrypted flash drive stored in Scout's old music box. Sam finds it. Its contents? A damning report tying Drew to the failed research trials and 2 unreported patient deaths. She's shaken. Could Kai be telling the truth? Sonny Corinthos, always lurking behind the scenes, calls in a favor. He wants the truth, not to protect Drew, but to protect Michael, whose investments are now tanking under the scandal. Sonny interrogates Brick to dig into Drew's past, and what he finds sends shivers down his spine. Sonny shares the findings with Willow, who now must choose, stand by her brother Kai, or remain silent to protect the man who once saved her life. Torn, she visits Kai in the hospital psych wing, where he's under psychiatric hold after an outburst in court. Their dialogue is raw and painful. "Kai, you were always too good, too trusting. But he lied to all of us." Willow, "If what you're saying is true, it could destroy him." Kai, "Good. He destroyed me first." Drew, shaken by the trial, loses control. He's drinking again. Nina catches him at the Savoy, glass in hand, staring into oblivion. When she questions him, he doesn't deny the allegations. "Drew, I didn't mean for him to crash. But I needed him to back off. I never thought he'd remember. Meanwhile, Michael confronts Drew with a flash drive Sam discovered. Michael, you lied to me. You put everything at risk. Aurora, my family, everything. Drew, I did what I had to do. We were all in too deep. Michael, then you're no better than Sonny. The words hit harder than any punch. Drew stumbles back. The trial resumes after a week of silence. Kai testifies again, this time calmer, more composed, armed with hard evidence recovered from a hidden dash cam found in his totaled car. The footage is grainy, but it shows Drew's black SUV tailing Kai minutes before the crash. The jury deliberates for 2 days. In a packed courtroom, the judge reads the verdict. We, the jury, find in favor of the plaintiff, Kai Jensen. We award $10 million in damages and recommend an immediate investigation into criminal negligence. Drew sits motionless. His career, reputation, and relationships shattered. Outside, reporters swarm. Sam walks away without a word. Carly looks at him one last time, full of sorrow. Michael signs the termination papers for Drew's removal from Aurora. Willow hugs Kai tightly, tears in her eyes. Sonny, watching from a distance, mutters to Ava, another empire crumbles. Just like always. 3 weeks later, Drew resigns from General Hospital and vanishes from Port Charles. Kai begins working with the Neuroscience Foundation in Switzerland. Sam releases the flash drive's contents to the press, anonymously. Michael becomes sole CEO of Aurora Media, reshaping its future without Drew. Willow reconciles with Kai, but they both agree to keep distance for now. Sonny warns Carly. The storm isn't over. Someone else is coming. Someone who knows everything. The camera pans to a shadowy figure watching from outside the courthouse, a woman with red gloves and a burner phone. Her message? Port Charles isn't done bleeding yet. Tell them I'm coming. Fade out.